Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Married at First Sight Australia, Season 10, Episode 26. Now, Chris, mixing it up a bit today, but where would you like to start?
I don't know whether we are actually, Dave, because I want to talk about...
Sorry, the couples are mixing it up, not us.
All right, not us.
It's always the fucking same, every time. Where would you like to start? Calibrates us. Calibrates us, Chris.
Sorry about that, David. So we get this thing, don't we? You know, John's there talking about, you know, we're going to mix first time in maths history. And then John says this random comment of, but no one's getting together to make connections with other partners. And I'm thinking, well, why the fuck are you doing this for? You're obviously doing this hoping that some of the couples hook up or it does something or it exposes the dodgy couples. That's the reason behind it. Because it is a strange thing to do, Dave. I've got to say, 3 days, like you swap partners. I know, and we get in a timeline, actually, some of the conversations on today's episode, because we're saying like we've been together for 8 weeks. And it was just that it was all building up initially to Harrison and Melinda, wasn't it? So we've got like Bronte doesn't give a shit because she doesn't give a shit about Harrison. We know that. Exactly. He's not bothered. She's probably happy Leighton's coming because he's not a bell end like Harrison. And I've got to say, Dave, I predicted #reality radar, Harrison and Melinda, didn't I? And I convinced myself it's not going to happen. What do you think, Dave, of Melinda? Because I'm thinking those who doth protest too much, my friend.
I do think that Melinda's natural go-to is someone like Harrison. Yeah. And the reason she is so venomously opposed to him is because she's dated plenty of people like Harrison and they've fucked her around. But that doesn't get rid of the fact that that is probably her go-to. So I don't think they're going to hook up, but, you know, I'm not going to completely rule it out either. Fucking Harrison and Bronte. I swear, Chris, I've been saying for ages now that Bronte's in on this, and I'm more convinced now because neither of them give a fuck. It's like they've had a little huddle, and they're just like, yeah, let's really fuck with people. It'll be great. You know, because she was fucking with Leighton as well and messing with his head. I actually think Leighton's reaction, all right, it was maybe a little bit over the top, but it's the closest to a normal reaction, I think. You know, because Melinda's like, oh, God, I hate Harrison, but fucking hell, I'm on TV, so, you know, let's do it. Let's do it. And like I say, John, fucking, oh, yeah, this is the first time in maths history. And it's like, come on, John, you just want to fuck with them, don't you? You know, there's no virtue in this. It's not like Alessandra's hugging or the melted hug or something like that, where you can see, all right, I see why this works. You're just trying to fuck with these people. And I think Leighton definitely caught the raw end of that. But yeah, I don't know about Melinda at all. I just can't work her out. And Harrison's just sat there like he's pissing himself. Yeah. He's not arsed at all. Doesn't give a shit about Bronte. He's just there to be awkward and get some screen time and be the series villain. And, you know, he's loving it.
Yeah, and you know what, Dave? Didn't you think it was a bit strange? So like you say, Leighton and Melinda had a full-on argument in front of Harrison. So he sat there again with his fucking fart smile, just sat there smug as anything. Told you so. And he's so fucking smug. You know, he's got his Chicago Bulls top on, you know, thinking he's the man, and he's everything he said about him, which we've not seen. We know that's not true. But Harrison's depiction of them, it's all Melinda. He slagged her off for a plastic surgery at one point to Bronte, and Bronte's there going, yeah. And I'm going, Bronte, you're not natural either, so let's not fucking start calling people out there. There's no need for that sort of stuff. And I'm like, you fucking wanker he is. But there's something, because they stopped filming him after the first challenge, and I've got a feeling we may not have heard the end of this situation hashtag reality radar, Dave, 100% accuracy at all times. Because it's just, she was like having a pot, but like you say, but then a body language. I know when they did the question and answer, they were very direct to each other, but I could be barking up the wrong tree here, and it's not very often I get it wrong, Dave. But this just looks like there's more to this than what we're seeing. I think something may have happened down the line.
Yeah. Again, I'm not ruling this one out. I'm not doing an Ekin-Su and Davide thing and just saying there's fucking no chance of this happening. I just think it would be a complete setup, I think, if it did happen. But you can see, and the reason you were sniffing that one out is just because we've seen this happen so many times on this shit TV genre that we're glued to. And it's a storyline that's been done, but it doesn't. There's only a few storylines, isn't there, that they keep trotting out. So that is one of them, and I do think something could happen.
But it may not, Dave. You are correct. It may not. But I think you're right about Bronte, though. It was a huddle up. It was the Guardians of the Galaxy fucking huddle up together, and it was like, yeah, Leighton. Oh, it's terrible. Like, oh right. Oh, I wouldn't have that. And she absolutely laid in to fucking Melinda, and Leighton's like, right. Well, I'm not having it. And I'm thinking, you two have got the perfect. I mean, it's suspect, isn't it? Because everyone else seemed to get opposite couples, didn't they? It was like they were the only four who ended up with the opposite partners. Yeah. All the other couples ended up with other couples. There was a reason, as you said, it's just to fuck with them, Dave. They knew what was going to happen. And like you say, Bronte was just laying it all out there. And I'm thinking, Leighton, you're falling for it, mate. Yeah. You're falling for it. He was an absolute wreck by the time she'd finished with him. And like you said, I can imagine when they all come back together, Harrison and Bronte, high five, we've got him. It's just like, that'll show him.
It's like the fucking, the end of the Phantom Menace, where you've got the Emperor, fucking Palpatine is right there, and it's like, look, he's the fucking Emperor. He's fucking there. He's fucking with you. How can you lot not see this? It was like that. Just how Bronte was spinning it all. And Leighton was just swallowing everything. She was basically saying he's been gaslit.
Yeah.
She's fucking with you. And he's just like, oh, yeah, I think you're right. And it's like, oh, my God, Leighton, fucking hell. Have you never watched any of these shows before? And so, yeah, it's good. It was entertaining. But, it makes your blood boil as well. It's like, just the fact that the pair of them, Bronte and Harrison, are both just fucking with everyone, really.
Yeah, they are. They're just playing their own game, aren't they? They don't care. And I think, so that moved on pretty quick, actually. I was expecting, from the video we'd seen and the promo for this episode, I'm expecting guns blazing and everything. And now there was that bit, and there's a bit at the end we've got to talk about. But in between, you sort of got like Tani and Rupert. That was all nicey. Lyndall and Ollie. Lyndall seemed to be quite happy. Again, as you said in the commitment ceremony, Lyndall and Cam looked like fucking Love's Young Dream. Wasn't what Lyndall was saying when she was with Ollie on this episode. Again, faking it, I think, for staying in the show a bit. And then Cam saying about Alyssa, who has been an absolute walking nightmare. Oh, we're getting on really well here. It's been a treat, as was his fucking words there, with a beaming smile. I was thinking, oh, so I bet you've been hugging her then, haven't you? He's just,
yeah.
He is a phony. I don't like Cam. I've had him from the start pretty much, Dave. He's an absolute, I think he's a bit of a sly one that'll come back and bite us at some point. It's just something off about that guy for me.
I can't disagree with you at all there. I think whatever his motivation is, he's not in it for the right reasons, as they say. But yeah, and I'm not buying him and Lyndall. I'm not buying what they're selling. It's not quite as bad as Harrison and Bronte, but, it's on the same scale.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. There's something off. Now, Dave, the other couple who have been simmering for a few episodes now, It's Alyssa and Duncan. Now, Duncan gets Evelyn and they have a great time together. He's doing like poses for Alyssa, talking about like, oh, she does cooking, she loves it, blah, blah, blah. Alyssa's just fucking slating him to camp. She even written like, what do I put in this truth letter that I hate you? And I'm like, I'm sorry, but we call out Harrison, he's a cock. Shannon was a cock, Dan was a cock. But Alyssa is a cock, Dave. She's a bellend. She's a fucking gaslighter. She's very clever at playing games like that. Everyone's been saying that thing about Alyssa. What's this? I've got a child. Now, what makes me laugh is Dave. She's asking
for playing Monopoly.
What's I've got a child. Yeah, I have to use that as an excuse. But what gets me is she puts him down. She's like, "You'll never understand." Well, no, he wouldn't. But he even says your child has to be a priority. I agree. He even says that to her. But then she keeps trotting out these cliches. We need space. How much space do you want? The fucking Sahara Desert between both of you? How much? And he's like, well, how do I know? Well, it could be a week. You want me sitting here? She went, yeah. And I'm like, are you actually for real? You actually think? And look, at the end of the day, Dave, he doesn't know anything about child, and she misses her child so much that she spent nearly 3 months doing a reality TV show, Dave. But she misses it so much, a child, Dave. I mean, that is obviously one of the reasons Duncan doesn't understand anything about being a parent. What a fucking absolute bellend she is.
You know what really annoyed me, right? You're a parent. I'm a parent. It's not, and it is different, but it's not like having a fucking come to Jesus moment. It's not like, suddenly the world operates differently than it did before. And the fact that she kept going, you'll never understand. What, even if he has a kid, he still won't understand, because that's kind of never. And, it's just, I don't know what she wanted from him. There was literally nothing that he could say in that moment. And, he did, well, again, whether he's putting it on, who knows, but he did seem to genuinely miss her. And, when he got back, he's looking to spend time with her. He'd done these funny little, sexy pictures. But she didn't want to know. She's like, I mean, to be fair, if she's got a mind in, we have to have a serious conversation, and he rocks up like fucking in a fireman's outfit or something. Like, there's not many ladies that would be like, oh, fucking hell, Duncan, not again. I'm sure he'd have plenty of success there, but it just, I don't know. I'm perplexed as to what the fuck Duncan could actually do. He cannot do anything. And again, it's so much easier when you're on the outside and you're seeing it and you're looking in. It's like, look, Duncan, this is just, you are absolutely wasting your time. Yes, there are some bits of Alyssa that you quite like, but really, it's not going to work, is it? There's plenty of stuff that she's got to figure out. And whether this is a transient thing, and I think part of it is, but is she like 2 years away from maturing, 5 years, 10 years? I'm not sure. She's been married. They've had a kid. The kid is apparently 3 or something. So, not even that old, and she's divorced. So, it's an emotional roller coaster, really. So she's not in a clear headspace. She wouldn't have said. So I'm not saying like, this is her being a dick and that's what she is. She'll never change. Now, I do say, I think the judginess that we saw in one of the first weeks was, that probably is her. But this kind of irrational, it's almost like sabotaging the relationship, isn't it? Because there's only one way this ends up. It's not in a good place. And, like you say, there is the gaslighting there, without a doubt. She's basically making him out like he's saying stuff. We see her when she recounts stories to other people. It's completely different from what we've seen. And when she's saying about, you can't understand that my child is the number one priority. It's like, not even a question. It's a no-brainer. your kid's the priority. No, you don't understand. It's like really fucking with him. And it's like, yeah, I said it for what feels like an age now, but danger, Will Robinson, fucking run for your life, Duncan. There's no saving this relationship, I don't think.
No, and I think, I think she's hit the jackpot with Duncan, as in the looks. She made him cry, Dave. So she was on my shit list straight away. I was like, I can't believe she's made Duncan, of all people, cry. She's emotionally unstable. She's carrying a lot of scars from previous stuff. Obviously, a little bit judgy considering she was the other woman in a married relationship, Dave. And
very judgy.
Exactly. There's a lot of stuff there. And like you said, it's fucking brilliant. He's like, I've got us a cooking class. Don't really give a fuck, to be honest. She's like, great. Wow. And he's like, what about this? Yeah. And I'm thinking, I was saying as you, I was like, Duncan, mate, just get your stuff and leave. Just go and leave her. Because look what Rupert did. Rupert had to send fucking flowers. Mr. I can't speak or anything. He's like, I hope you're having a respectable time. In other words, I'm shitting myself in case you get off with the fucking hunk of the fucking group. And so, yes, it's wrong. And I think now it's at the point where she's just emotionally abusing him in my eyes, Dave. And it's just, like you said, you don't understand. Well, he's like sort of saying to her, well, tell me why I don't understand. Make me understand. How am I wrong? And he's making all the concessions. And every time he does that, he loses like any stance with her because she sees it as an opportunity to say, well, he is actually wrong. You don't know what he's talking about. When she's done it with the other girls, they're all just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Is Duncan like different behind closed doors? It's just nobody can dot everything together. And again, I come back to this, Dave, what we said yesterday. Obviously, the first thing you want to do when you've been in a long-term relationship and everything is go on a fucking reality TV show to find love, because that's always for fucking success. I don't believe her either. She's another blagger, and I don't know what's going on with that girl. But great TV, but my God, she's frustrating to watch.
Yeah, but we need these people, don't we, to entertain us. These emotionally stable, nice people, we don't want them. I mean, Duncan, what's he doing on here? It's far too fucking nice. And I believe someone was saying that like her sister was on something, Reddit or whatever, saying, oh, yeah, Alyssa's got a bad edit and like Duncan's got a really good edit. I am fucking sick of this bollocks about good editing and bad editing. Yes, you can see things out of context. And we called it out like at the dinner party when Harrison was smirking. For me, that was a proper like villain edit thing because you couldn't see whether that was it at the same time or whether they just spliced that in. But when you're seeing whole fucking conversations, don't give me the fucking bullshit that it's a bad edit. Just these people need to take fucking accountability. And I'm sorry, but if you're saying, it's a bad edit or whatever, you're just fucking enabling that person. It just does my fucking head in, Chris.
No, but I agree with you, Dave. How Olivia from the last series of Mass Australia can say she had a bad edit is beyond anybody in this fucking world, bar Olivia, because she's got to try and milk all the money she can out of her fucking name. So she's got to go on certain things and say, and everyone's just like, okay, Pinocchio, we don't believe a word of that. So you are right. I agree with the Harrison thing because I thought at the same time when you actually said it, I was like, wow, you're on the money there, Dave, 100%. Because it seemed to use the same stock file of him smirking, didn't it? It was like, you've used this a couple of times. So I agree. I completely agree. There is that. You know what I mean?
Just for anything. Cuts to Harrison.
Smirking.
Same smirk.
The same shirt he's had on for 8 weeks. But you're right. It's like it's just one of them bloody things. So we get a bit of a show of what's going to happen in tomorrow's episode, and it looks like I don't know if all of them do because we don't see Adam, but basically a lot of the ex-contestants come back, don't they? And we didn't see Jessie, we see Claire there, we see a couple of the other. Janelle comes back as well, so there's a bit of unfinished business there. So it looks like Sandy goes at Bronte as well. So from what we've seen, but that'll be nothing because Bronte's already stormed off on the video, so they've ruined that because she knows she can't handle the truth because she's a blagger.
Exactly, she is blagging her ass off, and that's her go-to, isn't it? Oh, our relationship's fake. Oh, I'm not standing for this. I'm off. We all fucking know it.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just the fact that they are so blatant. I should Google it, really. I'd love to know what Australia are making of this, because, I mean, is it just so obvious to everyone, like, just how fake they are, and the fact that they're concocting this play almost, where they're manipulating all the other contestants? Because in the experiment, Bronte seems to be in the blind spot. I think she seems to be still getting away with it, as if she's being emotionally manipulated. But yeah, it's absolutely as fucking bad as Harrison.
Well, I go on Twitter all the time and put it in, and I just put the contestants in and put Alyssa on before, Dave. Oh my God, she's not liked. You put Harrison in, not liked at all.
Right.
My brother's started watching it because we know we're only a week into it. He loves maths, him and his missus. And I kept saying to him, you can watch it, it's on our Facebook page. Like I'm saying to him, like to my brother Adam, like, yeah, you know what? Anyway, they started watching it straight away. He said to me, he went, that fucking Harrison's a cock, innit? I went, yeah. I went, just watch it. And then he picked out a couple of the others, and he didn't know them, and he was talking about Shannon and Caitlin, and he was going, man, the gamer girl. And I'm like, the gamer? And I'm thinking, I was going on, she's a gamer at the start, and you fucking forget, don't you? And I was like, yeah. He went, how does that go on? I'm not telling you. I went, well, Harrison, he's a cock, so yeah, they've started watching, which is interesting. But Dave, I have got some sad news, actually. Now, are you with anybody who can come and give you a hug, like what Lyndall wanted off cam, Dave? Is there anyone around who can do that? You may need some support.
I could go and grab the cat, maybe. But
well, you can always do that, Dave. Now, listen, you may need a stiff drink after this, but I've been reading some stuff about some ex-contestants from Maths UK last series, Dave. And we all remember Matt, the egotistical guy with the tattoos drew on by the Crayola crayon.
God, yeah.
Yeah, so we've heard the news, Dave, that Matt has split up with Maralise from the season before. So it's been, I've been so upset this evening reading about it. And then they both did a PR press release, got about 4 likes on the social medias. And basically Matt did a video, Dave, explaining, just leave us alone. I wish you well in the future. I was absolutely traumatized by this day. So I just want a live reaction.
Yeah, couldn't give a fuck. What a fucking horrible individual. And Maralise was an absolute fame chaser. So, yeah.
100%. I can remember when we were doing maths and you got a Facebook and we were posting it and he had all them cameo things, didn't you? The celebrities like, fucking speak to the Hoff or something. And it was like, Maralise from maths. It was about fucking 15 quid. I was like, fuck me, you'd have to pay me to a fucking birthday message from her.
It had only been on for about a week or something.
I know.
I remember me and you talking about it. Like, I think that was before we really realised, because in The Bachelor, and say The Bachelor in the US, but in Love Island in the UK, the people who are going to go on there are going to be these Z-list celebrities after. But Married at First Sight hadn't really been that up until that season, I don't think. And so that was why it took me, a bit by surprise. It's like, what? You don't get fucking people from Coach Trip or something, do you? Or fucking Homes Under the Hammer. Oh, do you want to go? Do you want to have a cameo with fucking Colin from Homes Under the Hammer? He got a mid-terrace house for 70 grand.
We met Dion Dublin once.
So yeah, fucking
desperado, absolute fucking desperado. Say that, Dave. I've got me and you on there. Come on, have a cameo from Chris and Dave from the reality TV cast. They'll be like, who the fuck are these two fucking muppets?
Pair of fucking bellends talking about fucking reality TV.
I met Ray Winston once on Soccer AM, Dave. Is that the claim to fame? We could throw that up there. Have you met any celebrities, Dave?
I met Gordon Strachan in Singapore.
Keep that one under wraps, Dave. That'd ruin it.
I told you about that one, didn't I? I was all fucking jet lagged and stuff and thought I knew him for a second.
You know, you say that. Last week, this is God's honest truth. I work right next to the BBC in Manchester, right next to where they film a match of the day, everything. And I'm there in co-op and I'm going in to get some money out of the cash machine. And that Nick Knowles comes in front of me, Dave, and I went, morning. You know, like I do. And he went, morning. And just I was like, oh, that's Nick Knowles. But I was acting as if I worked with him or something there. But he's thinking, yeah, Ken. You know?
He gets it all the time, doesn't he?
Probably.
I'm sure I told you, didn't I? You know, when I was down in Wilmslow, Chris, rubbing arms with the celebs and stuff, you see, what's his name? Is it Mike Barlow? Ken Barlow.
Mike Barlow.
What's the Mike? There was a Mike. He was a sleazy one, wasn't he?
He's a sleazy. Mike Baldwin.
Mike Baldwin, that's it.
Had a fight, didn't he?
Ken Barlow. Yeah, you see him walking his dog quite often around ours.
Still going. He's in his knees.
Yeah, I saw Jolien Lescott. He used to go to the same nursery as my eldest at the time.
Yeah, so we're scraping the barrel now, Dave. Jolien Lescott. He's on the same level as me and you for fucking cameos. A lot of people listening are like, who the fuck's Jolien Lescott? He's a footballer, played for fucking Man City, unfortunately. Yeah, there you go. Oh, mate, amazing. So anyway, if you do want to email us or if you want a cameo, $9.99 for me and Dave, please email us at cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, at cdrealitycast. As always, Chris and Dave's Reality TV cast. Get over to Facebook, guys. We're coming to the conclusion of fucking Love Island, finally. So we'll wrap that one up. Me and Dave will do a wrap-up episode as well. And we'll just talk about how shit it's been really for 2 months.
Yeah.
I know
it's
we
been
won't.
a painful couple of weeks, hasn't it? I know you've been
holding
the fort manfully as I've been a bit busy. But yeah, we'll definitely see the series out. Yeah, like I've got a fucking Viking funeral.
I admire you, Dave, because you did the right thing. Because it's been a disgrace, that show. Oh my god. Anyway, we'll talk about that. If you do want to support us, guys, get over to patreon.com/CD RealityCast. And also, Dave, just before we do that with Love Island, the best thing about the Love Island episode last couple of days was the fact that Maya Jama welcomed Will and Jesse onto the show before he'd even been voted off in the adverts before the end break.
Oops.
So that kicked it all off.
You know, and ITV are still not as in shit corner as the BBC.
Well, we're not getting involved in that, Dave, are we? So yeah, let's not. So here's the roll call of honour, guys. So Larissa, Helen, Alex, Macy, Nicholas, Maeve, Emma, Fiona, Cassie, Megan, Kate, Maggie, Kristen, Zoe, Gillian, Keith, Helen, Brianna, Chloe, Noreen, Joanna, Libby, Katie, Dee Dee, Susan, Hennessy, Tracy, Lauren, Looking at the Green, and Ken Gustafsson. So thank you so much, guys. That is a massive list, and it's so amazing the amount of people who support the show. And we've had a lot of people on the Facebook page now, which is really good, who are obviously watching Maths UK now in real time. And thanks for supporting us. We do appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's been a phenomenal ride. I'm glad to be seeing Love Island out at the minute, but Maths, I think we've still got plenty of mileage, and I really want this reunion, or this mini reunion, to be quite explosive, because the last one wasn't it? I think it was, was it Salin? I think her name was, that she was like antagonizing. Do you think actually Sandy is playing the Salin role?
She could be, because Salin come in and just didn't give a shit, did she? She just went for everyone.
Yeah.
And it was great. Oh, Dave, it was great. I did see, this is a podcast without Bex, Dave, off the season before, how she's got any mileage trying to comment on Love Island Australia. I do not know after getting exposed, but they'll do anything, won't they, these ones, to just stay relevant. So, yeah, unbelievable.
Awesome, mate. Well, thank you very much, sir. Thanks to everyone out there for listening. Thanks to all our supporters, and we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.